Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Mental Monday. So, for this week's Mental Monday, I wanted to talk about something that is extremely relevant in our life right now, and that is waiting. So, it's not just a conversation about having patience, but it's also about having the ability to embrace while you are and embrace the process of getting to where you're going, rather than just being totally focused on getting where you're going and not being able to enjoy where you are right now and not being able to enjoy the journey of getting to where you're going or be present in the process of getting there and everything that you can learn through that journey. And I think my personality type is one that really struggles with that. I know I'm a person that doesn't do well with that. I just don't. I don't like it, and I'd rather know. I'd rather have something I'm doing. I'd rather be working on something than wait. Waiting is the hardest for me, and I don't think it's fully a patience thing because it's really a being present in the moment thing. And that is a mental discipline, I'm gonna say. It is kind of meditation and being aware, but it's really just looking at what your very next step is rather than trying to see what's at the end of the staircase. And sometimes it's taking steps without even knowing if there's a staircase there, trying things and even seeing if they're working or if they lead anywhere. It could be shut down. It could be an opportunity. You're never going to know unless you try it. And that doesn't mean you're supposed to take every opportunity ever, but there's something very special in being content where you are and being present in this moment and being able to embrace what you're dealing with right now. Right now, we are waiting on a lot of things. We're waiting to find the next house we're gonna live in, wherever that ends up being. We're waiting to start the process of however we're gonna start our family, whenever that ends up being. Waiting on some direction on things, and that doesn't mean we're not doing anything towards it or considering anything that comes up that might resolve certain aspects of it, but there's also a lot to be dealt with in this moment. There's also a lot to work on for right now, and not letting those two get out of balance can be a very tricky thing. It's something I'm not good at because I look 10 steps ahead instead of what my very next right thing to do is, which is a struggle, and I understand it. It's just the way my personality works. I struggle with that. Not because I get all caught up in what the end result has to be, but more not knowing. So it's the waiting to find answers. It's the waiting to make a decision on things because you're waiting for all the information to come in. It's the waiting for the right timing. And that's so hard and so tricky. And everybody handles that differently, but I know every person I know can find encouragement in learning better how to enjoy the moment you're in and how to cultivate that more in everything in life and what that practically looks like. So I know I usually have like a 5-step list with tips of ways to improve on that or ways to try to work on that, ways to get better at it. I actually don't this time. The reason is because I don't know if I know myself. This has kind of been a journey for me that I have been on, and I'm kind of starting. There's a long road ahead for a lot of things. But I know for me, the biggest way I have tried to improve on this consciously is to very intentionally ask myself, what is the next thing I have to do? What is the next right thing to do? Not making a decision about the future, not trying to figure the future out, but in today, in the next hour, what do I need to do to move forward with what I have going, to keep up with what I have going, and to keep track of things? What's the next right move? And that way, you're kind of trying to just focus on putting one foot in front of the other. You're not overwhelming yourself with a bunch of goals. You're not overwhelming yourself with a bunch of steps or a bunch of how-tos for how to improve it. I know one of the things that ends up bogging me up with this is actually researching tips people have given for improving on it, because then it's just information overload. And you have way too much to try to process, or way too much information to even know what to do next. And that's not helpful. And I'm very good at doing that to myself all the time. I'm very good at taking in a lot of information and trying to process it and trying to work at it and figure it out. I'm a major doer. I'm a major fixer. I get very determined and like, I'm going to figure this out. And that's not always what you're supposed to do. I think, I would hope Andrew would feel the same way, that I've gotten a lot better with this. Even since we got married. Even since the beginning of this year, I think I've gotten a lot better at this. And a lot better at communicating how I'm feeling with that. And being honest with myself about, okay, am I doing it again? Like, do I really need to research this anymore? Is that really going to be helpful at this moment? Or do I need to just slow my roll, calm myself, give myself a break and time to process, and just wait? Just wait for life to happen. Doesn't always feel like it's happening sometimes. It doesn't always feel like you're gonna get there. But I have found no progress is made in trying if it's not going to happen. There is not going to be anything I can do to change it happening right this second, or tomorrow, or a month from now, if it's not going to happen. Nothing I do right now is going to majorly affect when it's going to be figured out. Nothing I do right this second can fix that. So trying to figure it out right now, trying to research it, trying to be determined about it, doesn't work. That is just an area of our life right now. We're in a season of waiting. We're in a time period where we're on down low, we're on slow pace, and we don't know when we're gonna get there. We don't know when it'll be time to start things. We are waiting to figure these things out, or to have these things figured out. And while we don't always enjoy it necessarily, you have to look at the reality of the situation you're in. There is literally nothing you can do to change it right now if that's the kind of season with something you're in. And worrying about it, or stressing about it, or killing yourself trying to figure it out, trying to make it happen, if it's just not happening like that, isn't going to change that. It's just going to make it harder for you to wait, and harder of an experience in waiting. You're not enjoying what you're doing right now. If I just kept trying and trying and trying, and I wasn't able to enjoy a night home with Andrew without any kids, without house payments to worry about, without rent to worry about, without processes for adopting or IVF or any of the things we've talked about as possibilities, if I wasn't able to not worry about that for a second and enjoy a moment with my husband, I'm going to miss out on the opportunities I have right now where financially our life is pretty simple and we don't have a ton of distractions. We have time we could spend together. It's not helpful. It doesn't get you anywhere. And you just have to figure out what's the next right thing. What's the next step you can actually take and let it unfold. And I know I'm preaching to myself with this too, because I'm not good at this, but I keep reminding myself of it. And that's the only way I'm able to bring myself back to it, is by constantly reminding myself. Rant over. I hope that was coherent. I don't even know. I just ranted for what feels like forever now. It's probably a really long Mental Monday. But I wanted to share that because I try to make the Mental Mondays very relevant to what's going on with us or what's going on in our lives and what I'm going through, what I'm working on, and that is what I'm feeling right now. That is what's on my mind and what I'm trying to keep a hold of so that I can actually enjoy all of the time me and Andrew have together, and the simpleness and the sweetness of having things be less complicated. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped you in some way. If it did, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.